What is going on, guys? Trangeezy Designs here with a brand new video. This is round 10 at Monza in Italy, my home Grand Prix for the Formula 1 2020 My Team Career Mode. This is technically episode 8, I want to say, maybe 7, but that is because I didn't record the first couple of rounds. But without further ado, we're going to get right into it with this. These are the point standings as they run right now. We are around 20 points off of our teammate Charles Leclerc in our sister car. And then we have Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton, the two Mercedes boys, are below us in the championship. I want to say Bottas is around 40 points out of the lead in the championship right now. So if he wants at all a chance to go after it, he needs to get around me and Charles both with around 40 points. So that's 2 races-ish. So if he wants it, he has to win here, and he is looking extremely strong here in Monza. So we are going to see how he does. He is starting, I want to say it was 3rd on the grid. Really strong qualifying from him. But if you guys do enjoy this video at the end of it, please do give it a like. Please comment what you guys want to see more of, what I'm doing that might make it a little bit better. But you guys can see my sub goal down there in the bottom of the screen. I want to get 200 at any point soon, and please help me reach that. As always, there is my code on the right hand side to Swift. These guys are absolutely amazing working with me, so please go and give them a check out and buy something if you want from them, because they have amazing products as always. But we are going to get right into qualifying 1. And you can see right now we're just in the garage. We're going to let everyone kind of get the track rubbered in and get a racing line in before we actually head out. So we're going to chill out here in the garage for just a minute, and we're going to go from there. But our aim right now is basically get as high up in the qualifying grid as possible without letting our teammate in front of us. If we can qualify in front of our teammate, it puts us into a good spot for the race, because if he gets in front of us with clean air, it's bad day. But onto our flyer, I just went out for my banker lap right before this. This is going to be my flyer. We are going to try and get first place right off the bat to see where the pace of the car is. And already you can see we are down on our banker lap, so we did not have a good run out of Parabolica corner into the first chicane down through Curva Grande here at Monza, and we are actually 0.2 of a second up already. So an amazing run through the first chicane of 3 chicanes here at Monza. So heavy braking down into the second chicane. We are purple first sector, so we are going fastest. Sorry about no audio on the game clip. You will not be able to hear my car during qualifying 1 and 2. I did not figure that out until midway through Q3, I want to say. But heading towards Ascari, we are 0.7 up on our previous time. That is going to be another purple sector. We are heading towards first place and best lap of qualifying 1 currently. There is the 5-minute warning sign up in the top right telling us that there is 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. So if you want to get your lap in, you need to get it good and now. So through Parabolica at the finish line, we are, what is it going to be? It looks like it's going to be 0.9 up. That is a 1:18.1. That is a good lap if you do ask me. But we are going to pull into the garage, and we are going to end that with, I want to say first. I don't think that anyone went faster than us in Q1. So with that being said, we are possibly going to be pulling first off of Q1 and asserting ourselves as the person to beat here this weekend. In fact, we do. Our teammate is 2/100ths of a second, 2/10ths, I'm sorry, off of us. There is Esteban Ocon in the Renault, strong showing for that car. Vettel and Ricciardo in the Ferraris, home Grand Prix for the Italians as well. They are looking to put in a strong finish here. Sergio Perez, Ocon's teammate in the other Renault car, is down in 6th, followed by Sainz in the McLaren with Lance Stroll in that Racing Point. The two Mercedes are 9th and 10th. Not a strong finish for them after Q1. There is Daniel Kvyat and Gasly in the AlphaTauris, the 3rd and 4th Red Bull cars on the grid. There's the other Racing Point, and then there's the two other Red Bull cars, Alexander Albon and Max Verstappen, and that is your top 16 heading into Q2. So, now is where it starts getting a little tougher because everyone's pace starts picking up. So, onto the flyer here in Q2. You can see up in the top left, we are on those yellow walled medium tires, which is a slower compound tire. Everyone else is on those soft slick tires. We are on the medium slick tires. So, a little bit slower, but I think our car has enough pace in order to get it done. But into the first chicane, we are again actually half a second up, 0.7 seconds up out of the first chicane. So I want to say on my banker lap I spun out just a little bit on the exit, but through Curva Grande into the second chicane, we are way up. We are a second up on our banker lap previously in the session. So down through Lesmos, we are going to be right around that second mark on our other time. So we are going to be charging 8th gear, DRS wide open towards Ascari. This chicane is extremely quick and actually fairly difficult to get correct every single lap, but down to 5th gear, toss it in, you get it done. Out of Ascari, going down towards Parabolica, we are going to try and hit Parabolica. Perfect. We want to make sure we have a really, really good lap to make sure that we do not miss an opportunity to place well on these tires. So over the finish line, where are we going to be? We're going to be first place again at a 1:18.5. So as you can see, it is around 0.4 seconds slower than the soft tires were in Q1. But with around 3 minutes left, we are going to pull back into the garage, and we go fastest in Q2, followed by Lewis Hamilton in that Mercedes. So better finish for the Mercedes squad. And then there is our teammate Charles Leclerc, the championship leader, currently down in 3rd as well on those medium compound tires. So he is going on the same tire strategy as us. There's Perez in the Renault. There's Bottas in the other Mercedes. The two Ferraris are 6th and 7th. There's Lance Stroll, Ocon, and Albon. Those are your top 10. Everyone else, sadly, gets kicked out, and they are staying right where they are going into Q3. So, with that being said, they need to go back to the garage and get ready to go onto the grid, while all of us get ready to head out again and try and put down what will be our finishing position on the grid. So, with that being said, we are going into it, and now we will have audio for the game. I finally realized I did not have audio, and I actually saved mid-session, exited, came back in, and had audio again, so you guys will be able to hear the car, and it will not just be my beautiful voice. Not really, but but we are going to have some audio instead of just nothing, and it be kind of fairly boring, honestly, without audio. Sitting here in post editing, talking over it, it sounds fairly boring. But we're gonna get into it now, and we are going into the flyer in Q3. So here we go, flyer in Q3. There is the beautiful sound of the motor of the car, something that has been missing for the last, 9 minutes of the video? Yes, that is correct. But over the finish line, onto our flyer lap. This is what will get us onto pole position if we get pole position. We have Lewis Hamilton just ahead of us. We will hopefully get a tow off of him and have a faster lap time than what we would normally if we had clean air ahead of us. So we are going to go through Curva Grande into the second of 3 chicanes, and right now you can't see on the top right, you can't see the delta, but we do go fastest in Sector 1. So we are heading towards possibly a pole position here at the home Grand Prix for ourselves. There goes Sebastian Vettel in that Ferrari, posting the fastest lap time currently. That will probably change. Yep, the Renault of Sergio Perez goes through fastest now. We're DRS wide open down towards Ascari. There is Valtteri Bottas going fastest with a 1:19.0. We're going through Ascari behind Lewis Hamilton as well. So we are going to have a little bit of a slipstream going down the final straight towards Parabolica. Can we get a fairly good run out of Parabolica and get a bigger toe off of Lewis towards the finish line? It does not look like it, but Lewis Hamilton should get fastest. Yep, there he goes, and we are at a 1:17.8. That is a fast lap, but we are going to try and get a toe off of Lewis Hamilton down that start straight to hopefully get a better lap time, but we end up spinning out in the first chicane, and that puts us down way too far in order to make up any ground on our best time, which is that 1:17.8. So, with that being said, we pulled into the garage, and our teammate goes only a tenth slower than us. So me and my teammate are the only ones in the 117 range. So our car is extremely strong here in Italy. The two Mercedes are extremely strong behind us as well, only a couple tenths off of us, around a second. And then you've got the two Renaults, the Ferrari, the Racing Point. There's another Ferrari down there. There's Vettel in the 9th place grid slot, and then there is Alexander Albon, who actually out-qualifies his teammate by 1 position. I'm surprised that Albon got onto qualifying 3 instead of Verstappen, but it's funny how things work sometimes. But you can see those Red Bull cars are 2 seconds slower than us, as well as the other Mercedes. So that just tells you how strong the Mercedes power units are around this track. So with pole position, we are looking strong for a good finish here at the end of this race. But we can't get too confident in ourselves because it is a race. Anything can happen between car failure, maybe a crash, maybe a spin. Something happens to us, something happens to Leclerc, something happens to anyone else on the grid. It can happen in the race, so we cannot say that we are going to get through it perfectly fine. But onto the grid we go.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar. Monza hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. With top speeds up to 215 miles per hour and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Iceman lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Esteban Ocon, and Perez, Ricciardo, Stroll, Vettel, and Alexander Albon, Verstappen, Gasly, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Sainz, Russell, Kvyat, Lando Norris, and Kevin Magnussen, Joe, De Vries, Latifi, and Jack Aitken. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So we are on the grid now. We are going to do our tire strategy. We want to actually go right around a mid-race on the medium compound tires, and then try and have the last couple of laps on the faster, softer tire. We do not want to overrun these medium tires and risk being undercut by our teammate if he pits the lap before or a couple laps before us and is on the faster tire long before us. he will end up catching us if that's the case, but we're going to underfuel the car just a little bit to be a little bit lighter right off the start, try and have a little bit of an advantage over the other guys on the grid. So these are the last couple of seconds before those lights go out. It is 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light. There is 5 lights at the Italian Grand Prix. We are off. It is actually a fairly good start, but a little bit slow from us. But right behind us, Valtteri Bottas gets a monster of a start. He's going to be looking around the outside of us into the first chicane. Heavy braking. We almost go into the back of him. And Ocon up the inside on us in that Renault. We actually stay around the outside of him and get around him and stay in that second position. Our teammate Charles Leclerc, who was right behind us on the start, ended up falling back farther than us and is almost into the clutches of Lewis Hamilton down in 4th. So with that being said, we need to chase after Bottas and hope that Ocon in that Renault behind us can keep him at bay and not let him get up towards us. So now we need to put our head down. We need to not make mistakes. We need to go after Bottas. We need to get by him, and he is just trying to run away in that Mercedes. That thing is extremely quick. The silver arrows are always quick. But you need to remember, we can't just run rich fuel mode because we are underfueling our car. We need to save a little bit of fuel while pushing. And you can see there the Renault and those guys behind me, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, everyone else behind me are running full reds, which is, full reds are rich fuel mode and then overtake as well, so everyone is trying to make up positions and go as fast as possible right off of the start of the race. But you can see in that bottom right hand corner the racing point of Lance Stroll is going after the Red Bull of Alexander Albon around the outside in the first chicane, puts him on the inside. Can he get a good run out? No, Albon keeps his foot into the throttle and goes into Curva Grande on the inside, so he should have a good run going through, but that racing point is extremely quick. If you guys remember from all these previous races, they are still side by side into the second chicane. Who is going to come out of this on top? It is going to be Albon, who squeezes out the racing point onto the gravel, and that puts him under pressure from Carlos Sainz, who's up the inside into Lesmos in that orange McLaren. Right on the inside of Stroll. Is he going to get by him? Out of Lesmos, that he is. He is going to get by him. There is Sainz, Stroll. There's the 2 Red Bulls right behind him. That is Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri out the outside. And massive lockup going into Ascari from someone in that pack. I want to say it was Gasly around the outside. He gets Stroll. And while this is all happening, McLaren of Carlos Sainz has just taken off from all of those guys, while everyone else behind him starts stacking up and is going to be the fight for the best of the rest. We go fastest lap of the race at a 1:21 right now, but right behind us with DRS, actually no, not DRS, DRS just got activated, but around the outside is our teammate Charles Leclerc on Esteban Ocon in that Renault. Can he get him on the exit of the corner? No, he cannot. The Renault has a lot of traction out of that first chicane, so back into the front of our teammate goes Esteban Ocon. And while they're doing that, we're just continuing to pull away, chasing after Bottas as we lock up into the second of 3 chicanes. But as we say that, we go purple first sector, and we're looking to go fastest lap again here in the Grand Prix, so we're pushing and catching Valtteri as we lock up going out of Lesmos. We're going to try and regain that time that we just lost, which was a couple of tenths because he got a really good exit. We did not. But into Ascari, we're going to swing far left, swing right, and we're going to try and pitch it in, but we lock up again, and we're just pushing too hard, so we're going to back it off just a little bit, regain our composure, try and go back after Valtteri up front. You can see down that back straight we do gain, so we are a faster car on circuit currently than Valtteri Bottas ahead of us in that Mercedes. So with this being said, we know that we can catch him and we can pass him. We just have to get to that point. Charles Leclerc right behind us though, DRS wide open on that Renault, and he goes right around, no problem whatsoever on the Renault of Ocon. So he is now up into 3rd, and he's going to be trying chasing us down as we try and chase Valtteri down. So this is where things might start heating up between all the 3 of us for this race win. But purple first sector again as we go through. We actually have to slow up as to not go into the back of Valtteri. Through that chicane into Lesmos, we get a little bit cleaner this time around. A little bit of dirty air off of the back of that Mercedes, so we are struggling for a little bit of grip. The car didn't feel like it wanted to turn in, so I was struggling just a little bit. But DRS down this straight towards the Scar, you can see we just gain this whole time down the straightaway, hard on the brakes to not go into the back of Valtteri Bottas in that Mercedes. But we just tap that inside curb. We are just going to get the natural slipstream of these cars down this final straight towards Parabolica. We're going to get right onto his rear tire, and we are going to definitely get by him right now, right here. Around Parabolica we go, down the start-finish straight. DRS coming up. DRS is wide open now. Rich fuel mode, I want to say, is what I'm in, so we are going to go right around the outside. He squeezes us almost onto the grass, hard braking down into the first chicane, and we are into first place now. So with that being said, we have clean air now. We just need to hit our marks and hopefully just take off, as Pierre Gasly in that AlphaTauri is looking really racy now against the Racing Point of Lance Stroll. He's going side by side with him down through Curva Grande. It is a grande move by Pierre Gasly, but Lance Stroll's not done. He looked like he wanted to make a move around the outside, but Pierre Gasly was squeezing him off into the grass, so he could not make that move. But I want to say that tire wear is affecting these guys on the soft tires, because look at the time in the top left. We are now over a second and a half up on Valtteri Bottas and that man there, Charles Leclerc. So with that being said, we are faster than everyone else currently, other than our teammate who is in the exact same car as us. So he is really our only competition on the grid right now, is our own teammate. But as we come on to lap 6 of 13, which is a very, very short race if you think about it, we are leading the pack, and that is our teammate diving into the pits. So he is going to try and undercut us because we are coming into the pits next lap. But as we are watching, Sergio Perez in that Renault, DRS wide open on the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel, goes right up the inside into position 5, slots in right behind Lewis Hamilton there in that black Mercedes. It is a beautiful car, I tell you what. But it is me leading Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon, Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez. That is your top 5 as we go into Lesmos here on lap 6. We are going to go another lap, and then we are going to request to pit. But as it feels right now, it feels like the tires are starting to go just that little bit. So I want to say I ended up making the call to pit this lap in order to respond to Charles's pit, which we do last minute. We request to box this lap for brand new soft tires. We're on a good lap too. I think that this would have been fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but we are going to dive into the pits, try and not overspeed going into the pits, and we are just going to let the field that does not pit, we are going to let them go by us as we pit for fresh tires. We're going to try and make up as much ground as possible because there is only 5 or 6 laps left of this Grand Prix, which is a very, very tight window to try and make up as we fall down the ladder into P18. We were P1 at the end of this last lap, and now we're P18, so it is a steep climb back to the top for us, but most of the grid has not pitted yet. So time to put our head down, because we're going to need to in order to get by whoever doesn't pit on these old soft tires of theirs. But as we look at the front runners, which are the 2 Mercedes, the Renault with the DRS open, he is going to look around the inside on Ascari and yellow flag. That is Alexander Albon in the Red Bull pulling off to the side of the track. He has a mechanical failure, and right there you see the safety car light just came out. We have a safety car now, and we are at the back of the grid. If everyone pits right now, we are going to go straight back to first, but at the consequence of having our teammate all over us again. Here, middle of the race, on faster tires. We might have less tire wear than him, but that isn't going to save us because he is extremely quick when he's behind us. So he might actually get us here after the safety car restart. This is what I did not want. I did not want for this safety car to ever come out during this Grand Prix, but here it is. And this is going to be a fight for the last 4 or 5 laps of this Grand Prix. As you can see, I'm letting everyone start catching up as we start catching the safety car, which is right here sitting in Curva Grande waiting for us, who is the leader. We stay behind him. We're going to cruise around. We're going to try and keep temperature in these tires because behind the safety car, it's extremely hard and difficult to keep temperature in the tire rubber, in the tire carcass, if you will, and make sure that it is in that operating window as you see us snaking down this straight into Lesmos. We skip ahead to lap 9 when the safety car should be coming in. If the safety car comes in, we are going to race for 4 laps, all out sprint, and the safety car is coming in right now. The safety car is coming in. We have our teammate all over us right now on this restart, so we are going to try and hold everyone up until we get closer to the finish line, so kind of try and keep everyone sleeping, if you will, so that way we don't get overtaken into the first corner. But here we go, around Parabolica. We are waiting for that safety car to go into the pits. You can see everyone ready to go. There we go. There is the throttle. There is the overtake button. We are in rich overtake. We are trying to get away from our teammate who is sitting right behind us, following us all the way over to the right side of the track. We cut back left to open up this first chicane. We stay in first going into the first chicane, so thank God for that. But you can see he is all over us. You can see by that little notification in the bottom as well. I know he is right there. You can see down the mirrors he is there as well. So this is the fight now. This is the fight between first and second in the points standings. We are first and second in track position. I get a good chicane, and Charles does not. He drops about 6/10 off of us, and that actually opens up a little bit of breathing room for us. But you can see he still is there. Any slight mistake and we're done. Any slight mistake, he's actually gaining on us down the straight. Here we go. Into Ascari. What is he going to try and do? We cut all the way back right. We touch the grass on the outside. Back into Ascari. He is all over us. He's really pushing us. And right now, I'm just trying to break the toe. He has the monster slipstream on us. So we are trying to not let him get that by swerving and trying to keep him from getting that toe, going side to side on the track. Very dangerous, but it is what you have to do in order to keep that from happening. He goes fastest behind us because he's had the slipstream this entire lap, so he goes fastest lap of the Grand Prix because of that. We go into the first chicane, lock up just a little bit slide. You can see we are pushing the limit of this car currently, and so is Charles because we have dropped the other people. Valtteri sitting there in third. We have dropped them by seconds at this point of the Grand Prix after that restart. But there you saw the Red Bull of Max Verstappen going after, I want to say that is that a Williams sitting up there? No, there's no way that that's a Williams, but here's a good battle. That's Lando Norris trying to fend off Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly in that AlphaTauri has been extremely racy here in Monza. So, Norris is actually getting really squirrely. His rear end is all over the place, but down towards Ascari, here goes this entire pack. They are like NASCAR right now. They are side by side, 4 deep going into Ascari. What is that? That is chaos. Who's all in there? We have the AlphaTauri, McLaren, we've got Haas, we got everyone sitting right there. They are going down this back straight, just stacked up. They are ready to go right now. Look at that. That is actually a really good battle. I do not want to take my eyes off of that, but we just went fastest of the Grand Prix, so we are starting to pull away from Leclerc as he falls off of us, which gives us breathing room, does not let him have any advantage over us. But I really did not want to pull away from that battle, but that battle started to simmer down. There was so much going on in that span of one straightaway that I could not even commentate on it. That is just a battle that you don't really see around many tracks except for here in Monza. Monza is the temple of speed and the temple of battles from what I have seen on this game. But there is our teammate. There is the gap. You can see it very clearly as we watch him here in third person. You can see we are literally right there. He is still very much able to attack us if he gets a good run through any of these corners. So with that being said, we do need to keep it upright, if you will, rubber side down, gone to this last lap here in Monza. We cannot get too complacent saying, oh, we have this in the bag, because we do not. We are only 1.2 seconds and he is gaining down the straight. There is the final lap notification from our engineer, as you cannot really see that flag when you are driving, but final lap here, lap 13 of 13. It has been an incredible race here in Monza, full of battles, speed, drama, you name it, it has been here at Monza. Can we keep this gap right around 1.2? He's making a last lap push. You can see that time in the top left dropping slightly as we come into that second chicane. There is another battle though. The Racing Point going after Max Verstappen, going through Curva Grande. He goes around the outside in Curva Grande. That is a grande move by Lance Stroll in that pink car. So actually, now we look up in the top left. Leclerc has closed in on us even more. So now we need to be perfect through Ascari. Can we have it perfect? Perfect apex on the first, perfect on the second. We touch too much on the inside of that last one. We get squirrely. We don't put it in the wall, but he pulls out alongside us, going down the final straight into Parabolica. It is a drag race. Overtake, rich mix. We are giving this everything we got, braking, trying to park ourselves as wide as possible. This is the final drag into the finish line. We go all the way right to try and break that toe. We go over on our teammate. That is the finish line. And that is the closest race so far of this season. Round 10 here in Monza has not disappointed. And that was an extremely good race all around by every single person on that grid, from me all the way back to the back runners in those Williams cars, which is Latifi, and I want to say, who's the other one? Aitken. But we are the winner. We also, with that performance, we have fastest lap, so we get that extra point. We close the points gap even more heading into round 11, and that is what we wanted coming out of this race. Lance Stroll put on an amazing drive for that 10th place, and there is your top three. Actually, Ocon stays in front of the two Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. So he is on the podium, so good for Esteban Ocon getting third place. I don't think that he has been on the podium yet this season, and here it comes at the Temple of Speed. So that just has me out of breath. This race was so intense. It was absolutely insane. I'm sorry, that was not Ocon, that was Perez. Ocon dropped off. I thought that he was still behind us. No, it was Perez in the other Renault, so good for Perez, who has been up running up front throughout the year. So he has been up here, so good to see him back up. And you can see there 26 points goes to us, while 18 goes to Charles. So he gains a couple of points, but he loses way more than what he wanted to. So I want to say that gap now is right around, I want to say it's close to 10. Close to 10 points separating me and my teammate heading into round 11. If we can continue to win, we will have that finishing position that we want, which is the championship. That is the end goal. That is what we want. We do not want Leclerc to get it. As much as we want a championship for the team, we want to keep that #1 plate. We want to keep that world championship title for ourselves. We have dethroned Lewis Hamilton, and it is time for us to become world champion multiple times over. But there is the rivalry that is starting, is always between your teammates, but it is also Valtteri Bottas in that Mercedes. So, with that being said, our next race is at Singapore. Much slower, much more technical than here in Monza, which is all-out speed. Who is brave enough to send the car into somewhere that it should not be sent? Meaning those chicanes. Those chicanes are extremely quick coming in, and you really had to be precise with it. But Singapore is a completely different animal. Should be some good racing, though. Singapore always leads to some of the best racing on the circuit. On the calendar, that is. But that is the most intense race of this season so far. Please, if you guys enjoyed this, do leave a like, do subscribe. It takes 1 second to click that red button, and it lets me know that you guys want to see more of this. As you can see there, that gap has shrunk extremely from round 8 at Silverstone. That was a disaster for us, but again, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, guys, because this race, I think, deserves that. But there is my code for Swift, as always. T-Designs 15 for 15% off on all their products. These are absolutely amazing products by those guys. And down below are my social medias. There is my Twitch, there is my Instagram, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. But there is the subs goal, which is 200. I want to say at the time of this, I am a little bit closer than where it shows right now, so I will have to fix that. But thank you guys, as always, for watching. I know that this was a little bit of a longer video, but for those of you that stayed through this entire time, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Take it easy. If it's easy, take it twice, and stay classy. I love you guys. Have a good night. We will talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.